Jai Shri Krishna. So today I'm going to be talking a very important topic about, light, color, and planets. And I know many of you have commented about, the day and the t-shirts, what I wear and the colors, etc. Right? And it's like a dress code, color code I have been following for the last 26 years. And I don't change the color code at all. And I shop that way accordingly as well, and I wear that way and I travel that way as well. Okay, so do click the subscription or the no bell button notification to kind of keep updated with the greatest videos I publish. Yeah, so Vedic astrology beautifully aligns with science. Okay, beautifully aligns with science. And here is another example also as we connect. And I've always said the bigger thing is the planets. The days of the week comes from the planets, the colors comes from the planets, gemstones comes from the planets, right? Vastu, everything, right, literally comes from the planets. So if you understand the planets and your D1 astrology chart and the divisional charts, which is a derivative of the D1, pretty much you have cracked the code. And then of course you have the transits and then the Mahadasa. Yeah, okay. So in science, we have learned something called VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR, which is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. And you can look at the header picture as well to understand what we have learned in science as children and kids, as we grew up in school, right? Part of basic science subjects. Now, we are going to put a very, nice connection link to Vedic astrology. Okay, so V again stands for violet, I indigo blue, blue is the blue which is ultraviolet blue, G is the green, Y is yellow, O is orange, and red is R is red. Okay, now how does this all connect with the planets? If you see, right, it beautifully aligns well with the planetary system, and if you understand a little bit, you can decode it further. And I'm not going to give all the details in this one video alone. I will definitely do a part 2 to kind of explain this further. So kind of consider this like a part 1. So the V violet, right, is nothing but Venus. Okay, associated with Venus. I indigo blue is associated with Saturn. Indigo blue, which comes, the indigo blue color typically comes from a plant called Indigo ferrara. And I know that because I work in the fashion industry. Yeah. B is ultraviolet blue, Rahu. Ultraviolet spectrum, invisible spectrum. And within the UV rays, you have 3 spectrums, right? A, B, and C. That is what science has validated with it. Yeah, A, B, and C. That is one of the reason you wear sunscreens and other things for the AVB, A and B spectrum specifically. Okay. G is green, which is Mercury. Y is yellow, which is Jupiter. O is orange, which is sun and moon. See this orange, right? It's also that crimson color. It's also what is called the so-called, the oranges color is associated. People wear everywhere in India, the sadhus and everything. And there's been a lot of debate right now in Tamil Nadu about this orange color as well. Okay, but it is actually a color of sun and moon. Okay, it is not, it is like the dhoti color which is owned by like sadhus and stuff like this. And I am also surprised to hear, right, that even Christians are wearing it now. I don't know why they are doing this to confuse everybody, right? Literally. Yeah, okay, all right. This is that so-called saffron color, they call it, the sun and moon, saffron. Yeah, red is Mars and Ketu. Now Ketu is also here coming with Mars, but Ketu is more like a infrared, right? So it's interesting if you see, right, the ultraviolet is and infrared, they both are invisible. Okay, they both are invisible to the spectrum, to the human eye spectrum, right? So if you see, Rahu is invisible, Ketu is also invisible, and the rays also is becoming invisible in a way. Okay, And even in clothes, when we try to do sorting, the blue and blacks is always difficult to pick up. So we have to add other waves other than just the microwaves, right? Or the near microwaves. We have to order NIR, near infrared, etc., to pick up the blues and the blacks. Yeah, okay. So again, think about how VIBGYOR comes in. The 7 planetary frequencies also comes in, and in a way Rahu has got a separate color as in a way as ultraviolet blue, but Ketu doesn't have. Think about Rahu as the head, Ketu is just the body. And again, Rahu can be an Atmakaraka, Ketu cannot be an Atmakaraka. Again, Naisarika Bala wise, Rahu is the strongest. Right? That is why I keep saying Rahu has got its very unique features in a way, right? But if you understand the cosmic influences is across through the 9 planets here, right? And it's a combination of light, sound, consciousness, right? The karma and the evolution, right? Again, the VIBGYOR. Now, I will do a part 2, which will explain the Udu Mahadasa, Vimshottari Mahadasa, and the Team A, Team B breakdown as well, which you can see definitely in the part 2. But again, if you see when a ray of light is passed through a prism, it comes out as 7 colors. And if you see, right, Venus is the least diffracted color. There is no loss in the color. I mean, the light color when it comes out, right, the violet color, there is no loss at all. And the biggest loss or the biggest deviation you see is in the red color, and you can see in the header picture as well. Again, this is purely based on Vedic astrology with VIBGYOR and science. And again, the planet, remember this, the planet rules the days, right? Not vice versa. The planet colors is what you see as the colors, right? All the colors, what you see, the primary colors, secondary colors. The planet energy is what you see in gemstones. The planet energy is what you see in Vastu. The planet energy is what you see in the environment outside. Okay. Again, Rahu, Ketu, extremely invisible, right, to the human eye spectrum in a way. Again, Rahu is ultraviolet, right? It's beyond violet. And if you see Rahu connection with Venus, Venus is violet, ultraviolet because of the disciple, okay? And Mars is red, and in a way, if you see, infrared comes in, right? Here for Ketu. Parashara, of course, says, right, in PPHS. So Rishi Parashara says that Sanivat Rahu Kuchavat Ketu. And I will rather discuss this more in part 2. Okay, but I hope this was helpful to understand the color spectrum and the planets involved, right? And if you see from VIBGYOR, the least deviated color is violet and the highest deviated color is red. So as you go down, you see how they are far deviant from the original plane of light which falls through the prism. Okay, this you have to understand a little bit more, and I'm bringing this topic again today because if you understand Vedic astrology by light, okay, Vedic astrology by light, and it's called divine light, Jyotish, right? You can crack the code. Yeah, that's the most important thing. You can crack the code of Vedic astrology. All right, so this is again like a part 1. I will definitely do a part 2 to explain a little bit about the Vimshottari Mahadasa sequence and Team A, Team B, etc. All right, I will see you guys soon in another video. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.